So I'm going to read this day from the perspective of alcoholism, like it was written, because I'd like to make some comparisons. So if you happen to be raised by an alcoholic or to have grown up with an alcoholic, you might understand the stresses and fears that kind of were mapped onto the reality. The person would be drunk and they'd go out drinking, or they'd be at the bar drinking, and you'd be worried about how they were going to get home. Transportation's a real issue with someone with a alcohol addiction. So one of the questions is that plagues people who have a loved one who's an alcoholic is, are they going to come home? Am I going to see them again? And it's really flipped when you're dealing with a gaming addict. They can be 25 or 50 and in their parents' basement gaming, and the parents asking a very different question. Are they ever going to leave home? So I just want to let that kind of gel in your head, and to realize there's some really big differences between uh, alcoholism and gaming addiction. So what I see often happen with people is they come from an alcoholic home and they've got a child or a spouse that's a gaming addict, and they have this whole host of anxieties that they were raised with, and they map out those crazy anxieties right on top of, or I guess they map their gaming anxieties that are produced from the gaming addict right on top of the anxieties that they grew up with. And they're somehow fused into this jumbled mess of worries and um, stresses and pressures. And oftentimes people are so frustrated and worn out by the addict in their life, they don't even realize what's going on in their own head about the whole thing. So that said, um, I'm saying that not to point a finger or make someone feel guilty or feel bad about themselves, but just to realize that we come to the table in our adult relationships with our own specific problems. We've been exposed to things and they've had an impact on us. So let's take a look at this one, January 30th. Living with alcoholism. I learned that plans could change at any moment and that rules varied accordingly. I developed a deep mistrust of everyone and everything because I could count on nothing. As a result, I have often found myself jumping at any opportunity without thinking it through. Behind my action was a sense of desperation. Quote, I'd better grab this now. This may be my only chance. Unquote. Al-Anon shows me a different approach. I can live one day at a time. I can base my choices on what I feel is right for me today, rather than on what I fear I might lose sometime in the future. I can think before I react to my fears, and remember that easy does it. If I feel unable to do something today, I trust there'll be another opportunity if it is something I am meant to do. It doesn't have to be now or never or all or nothing. Today's reminder. Today, I don't have to be limited by my old fears. Instead, I can do what seems right. I do not have to follow every suggestion or take every offer I receive. I can consider my options and pray for the guidance to choose what is best for me. There is a guidance for each of us, and by lowly listening, we shall hear the right word. Place yourself in the middle of the stream of power and wisdom which flows into your life. Then, without effort, you are impelled to truth and to perfect contentment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I just want to remind each one of you that the crisis in your life is contrived. The addict in your life is creating problems all day long and driving their car towards, a cliff of their own making. And you have to step out of it to see it for what it is and realize there's no real crisis here. There's just someone who is actively avoiding something. We don't know what it is. They're definitely choosing to not grow up, and they're definitely asking you to take responsibility for their choices and actions. And you can't do it. It doesn't work. So I love the phrase easy does it. So when we get in that like caught in the spider's web panic mode, so important to just go, hey, easy does it. Slow down, slow it on down, and think. All right. I hope you have a great day.